Hi everybody, it's Dara, and I have almost zero idea of what I'm going to talk about in this video, but all of a sudden I thought I need to make a video. It's been too long, and I like to not only show you how to make raw food really easy and tell you why the raw food lifestyle is so great and how it's helped me and how it's helping my 85-year young dad who went 7 months ago. He didn't go raw vegan right away. So there could be the thing that I want to talk about. When I started feeding my parents, when I found out my mom was sick, I started making things according to the Gerson protocol, Gerson therapy. And that's a lot of cooked foods. That's stews, but they're cooked so cleanly. That's a pot with vegetables and water, and it's not a whole lot else. So it's just you're eating the vegetables, you're getting nurtured, you're warm, and it's easy to digest. And I can tell you that they both were detoxifying. So it's possible to go from a heavy cooked food diet to also eating a cooked food diet and still detoxify and get on your next level of health and awareness about what to put in our bodies. And it's like this slow journey. It doesn't need to and probably shouldn't happen overnight. So if you're going from eating hamburgers and pizzas and cheese and dairy that's mucus forming and wheat that's inflammatory, and the list can go on and on and on. And I'm not even talking about the chemicals and preservatives and food colorings or pesticides and all of those things. I'm talking about just heavy cooked food. And if you jump from that to eating a really clean raw food diet, which is just very little fat, and you just might detoxify too much. And we don't want to do that to ourselves. We don't want to go into too much of a crisis. If you want to know if what detoxifying looks like, all you have to do is type in the Google search detox symptoms, and you'll see headaches and nausea and fatigue. And what happens to most people when this period of time or this sets in, this crisis, is it's a natural inclination to step back to what we were eating, because instantaneously we will feel better because we'll have the things that our bodies are used to. Our bodies may have been craving the adrenaline and the meats and the hormones and all of the stuff that's packed in there that's so unhealthy. It's a shock to our system to not have it. So to put it back in is going to stop the detoxifying process. So what I usually recommend to people when it's time to clean up is just take a look at what you're eating now and say, okay, I'll eliminate one thing, then I'll eliminate another thing, and then maybe I'll add one true thing, like Dara's one true thing green soup or a beautiful smoothie, and one thing a day. So if you don't worry about giving up everything and doing everything all at once, it won't be so shocking to you, to your mind. You won't feel like deprivation. It won't feel like this major crisis. And eventually it will happen that you'll make the best choices possible whenever possible, because your body will start to dictate what it wants. So that's really what I want to say. So eating an all raw food diet doesn't really mean anything if it's not going to be your lifestyle going forward. It's not really a diet, it's a lifestyle. It's making the best, healthiest live choice whenever possible. And by doing that, you will have unbounding energy, unlimited vitality. You will be a whole new person. I can tell you, seeing my dad's transformation from going to cook all vegan and cooked to raw, and now he only wants raw. And you can see visibly his skin has changed. The whites of his eyes are whiter. And you can see his bone structure again. And also, which is really interesting, his speech pattern, the way he speaks. You'll notice from a video 2 years ago, he's kind of holding his head, trying to remember what he's going to say. And now it comes out effortlessly from the heart, from above. And that's what I was talking about this whole time I've been doing videos, that it isn't just about beauty. Beauty's nice. It isn't just about health. Health is wonderful. It's about hearing our connection to what we're supposed to be doing on this planet. And if we're all clogged, we're not going to know. And I will tell you, there is nothing better than doing what we're here to do. It could be morning till night, you do the thing you love to do, and you wouldn't even dare call it work, because it's not work. Yes, hours and time and energy expended. So somebody could call it work, but it's love. And when it's coming from pure love, People notice. You don't need to advertise what you do. You don't need to do anything other than show up doing this thing that you were meant to do. And so in order to get there, we need to clean up. And in order to do that, we need to pay attention to what we put in our bodies. And we'll be just excited. We'll move more. And, you know, it's kind of like after you eat a beautiful raw food meal, like one of my big salads made with love, you can feel different after. And you're still going to feel like exercising, like sitting down with your friend and having creative brainstorming about the next project that we're going to do. And we don't worry so much about talking about the negative things that are happening in the world. We talk about the positive. We don't say negative things about people. We talk about the positive. And so we become on an upward trajectory with our thoughts, with our food. And it all happens together. So it's not like you have to think so hard about it. Yes, in the beginning, you need to kind of educate yourself. Oh, why is wheat bad? Just to make sure that I don't eat that. Why? What's the deal with dairy? Maybe it's not good for me. And I'm not talking about raw dairy and pasteurized dairy and the kind of dairy our ancestors had when they had a cow. I'm talking about things that are pasteurized and turning into just mucus in our bodies. So we want to try a little bit at a time. So instead of going on that big cleanse, you know, poof, from where you were to the cleanse and then jumping back, you feel like a failure because you'll end up doing what you used to do. So instead, it's time to educate. So that being said, there's some things that we can do to boost munchies and boost the sweet cravings and, you know, satisfy our cravings. It's not supposed to be, you know, horrible. When I first went raw, I learned how to make the no-bean hummus because I love to have hummus and that kind of texture. And I'd have flax crackers. In one of my videos, I mentioned to call foodsalive.com. Call them and order a big bag in bulk instead of the teeny little bags. So you have your chips and your dip. Whatever your thing is, make sure you have it. My friend Sequoia that I graduated school with, she and her husband started Wonderfully Raw Cocoa Runes. One of these will satisfy that cookie chewy thing that you might have. And this is coconut. So this is really healthy, a healthy alternative. And I want to tell you that I was, you know, I'm not sure always about dehydrated foods because I like to have hydrated foods first and foremost because they're going to hydrate my body and they're nutritious. But I will tell you there's a time in everybody's life where they want that crunchy thing. And why not have the crunchy good stuff that will satisfy? Drink extra water to hydrate, but I will tell you just pure foods. I had 5 bags of these and I ate every single one of them. They're amazing. So just pure foods. If you don't have the opportunity to get these in the store near you, go to justpurefoods.com. Big shout out to them because these are delicious. And they're tomatoes and pumpkin seeds and spinach and onion powder and apple cider vinegar. There's not one thing bad in here. So that's that. So we got some sweets. I taught you how to make some raw chocolates. We have my dear friend Rochelle who makes lava chocolates. And what I want to share also is that it's really okay to have, in fact, beneficial to have hot liquids. So I don't, and I wouldn't want to be a raw foodist, if that's what you want to call me, if I didn't get to have my hot tea, my hot tonics, my hot elixirs. I call them tonics. They're hot, creamy drinks that are sweet, and they have all kinds of beneficial traditional medicines in them, and they warm my body. So, excuse me, I used to love saying in the beginning videos, I want to make one mistake per video and then I'd be happy because it keeps it real and keeps it raw. So anyway, I just had this seaweed soup. And this reminds me of the Longevity Now conference. Len Foley puts it on with his wife, and it's a David Wolfe extravaganza filled with information. And one of the most beautiful things about this conference, even from way back when they first started it, they had the tonic and elixir bar there. And Truth Calkins is one of the first people to really get in and put out the word on tonics. I had one of them and came home and started doing my own alchemy. But one of the beautiful things is that they also serve this seaweed soup. It's like a jing soup. And now they're selling it in packages. So what I just did just before, I was working and I got hungry and I decided to cut open this package, put 10 ounces, 12 ounces of hot water on the stove. Pour this in, 3 tablespoons or less if you want of coconut oil, and which is really good for the brain. And then I blended it in my blender, and my friend and I just had an amazing afternoon, warming, nurturing, I'm kind of hot right now, treat. So there's things you can do. I'm going to encourage you to seek out a couple of goodies and have them in your cabinets for those moments where you think you're going to run out and get Oreos. Don't do it. Okay, don't run out and get the potato chips. Get the Just Pure Foods. Okay, so that's what I wanted to say. I guess I didn't know what I was going to say, but it all happens. And that is the beauty of doing what you love to do and showing up even when you don't know what you're going to say, because we have to trust that it comes not from us, but through us, and the right thing will come out. So I love you guys. Please do get your greens on, and I will see you really, really soon.